Hi y'all. Hello. Sorry. So, y'all, it's like freezing weather down here in Texas right now. It's like 20 something degrees. There's snow on the ground. I'm like, where they do that at? But anyways, hi. What's up, Royal fam? Back with another video. So we're gonna be nice and cozy. We are in our office today. Okay? In our office, nice and cozied up because it's cold. Okay? And what we're gonna talk about today is we are going to talk about finances. So a lot of people don't know that I am a professional. I am a professional financial consultant as well. That is what I do during my daytime job. And someone, a little birdie, reached out to me and just asked like, hey, can you kind of just put together a quick little video? They said 2 minutes. I'm already at 1 minute and 3 seconds. So clearly it ain't gonna be 2 minutes, but I did want to come on here and just pretty much just let y'all know really quickly how I pretty much do my long-term investment and kind of just give some tips on how to pretty much start with long-term investing. So first things first, let me put on my little granny glasses. Okay, this makes me feel professional. You like them? Okay, and then I'm gonna grab my notes. So I'm going to let y'all know how I took a little over $2,000 and flipped it to $6,000 in under 2 years. I'll make sure to kind of just add some clips right here of some investments that I have available. And pretty much what I did over a long period of time to pretty much just get myself established. But first things first, we are going to just kind of go through my notes and let you know how to start off with investing. Okay? Okay. So first things first, tip number one, you do not have to start with a large sum of money, okay? A lot of people feel like in order for you to be able to start investing, you have to start with a large sum of money to get started, and that's not the case at all. You can actually buy fractional shares or purchase mutual funds, purchase a fraction of a mutual fund, things of that nature. So you don't, just like how people tell you with like anything with starting a business, starting a YouTube channel, anything like that, all you have to do is just start somewhere. Okay. Now before you just decide to just start, you know what I mean, you kind of want to understand the type of investor that you are. So when you first start off, of course, you're going to want to go ahead and open up a not a retirement account, any type of investment vehicle. So that could be a retirement account, that could be a self-directed brokerage, things of that nature. We'll discuss that in a later on video. But once you open that up, then you want to go ahead and determine what type of investor you are. Are you conservative? Are you moderate conservative? Or are you aggressive? Now, when I say those three things, or when I say what type of investor you are, I'm saying how much money are you willing to pretty much gamble? You know what I mean? Because the stock market is pretty much gambling. Liberty, I'm working. No squeaky toys right now. Sorry. Okay, so back to what we was doing. So what type of investor you are, because you're pretty much, the stock market is pretty much just like Liberty, stop, I'm about to close the door on you. With the stock market, okay, you are pretty much like gambling your money. You're determining exactly, like, are you willing to invest into a particular company with faith that they are going to go ahead and actually make some things happen and actually grow the money that you invest. So with that, you need to determine, okay, how much money are you really really willing to lose in order to be able to gain. The more conservative you are, or less quote unquote risky you are, the less money you're gonna want to lose, or less money that you're not trying to lose. Moderate, you're like, oh, okay, I may be able to lose a little bit of money, not that much money, or whatever. Aggressive, you like, shoot, we going all in. We at the crap tables, you know what I mean? We had blackjack. Let's do it, type of a thing. So If that's the case, then fine, whatever. It doesn't matter what type of investor you are. Just make sure you know the type of investor that you are, because just because you see somebody making tons of money or whatever doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't lost a ton of money either. So don't go in with the mindset thinking like, oh, okay, I'm about to make a gang of money, get out, call it a day. No, that's not how investing works. Okay. Which brings me to my next point. Know the market will have its ups and downs, what is also known as fluctuation, but stick it out. Okay, so let me reiterate that. The market will have its ups and downs. Okay, so you will lose money and you will also gain money. It is your responsibility to determine, when you are ready to pull out of the market, and if you really want to stick it out and just hang in there with that particular investment. So with a particular investment, you do kind of just want to make sure that you are paying attention to the performance on a regular basis. Some people look at their accounts on a daily basis. Some people just look at it on a, if you're investing long term, it doesn't, you can go a couple of days, maybe a week without looking at it and just say, okay, fine, cool, whatever. There's people that, invest and then won't look at their account for the entire quarter. So for 3 months. Before they actually look at the performance and decide whether or not that they want to go ahead and change investments or add additional funds to the investment that they're currently sitting in. Okay, but the word fluctuation, that means it's pretty much a roller coaster. It's constantly going to go up and down. So you have to understand that. You have to understand that the market changes, or the price per share changes every minute, because as soon as the stock market opens Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time all the way until 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, it's fluctuating all day. So you have to know that. You can't panic when there's a downturn or whatever and just say, okay, take all my money out. Like, quiet is kept when you have a downturn. That's the time to actually buy, but we'll get into that in another conversation as well. Yes, in addition to knowing fluctuation, you also kind of have to just know in the back of your mind, with pulling your money out, you know what I mean? Like, if you were to pull your money out when the stock market crashed, you could lose, or you could miss out on the 10 best days following after the market crash or after a downturn or whatever, because history has shown, data has shown that the 10 best days within the stock market typically happens right after a market crash. So by pulling your money out, you're just going to miss out on the opportunity to be able to go ahead and have that money skyrocket back up. So, and that doesn't always happen. Okay, past performance does not predict or guarantee future performance, but there's some data behind the scenes that show otherwise. But which brings me to my next point, which is invest on a reoccurring basis. That kind of helps with whenever a market downturn does take place, even if it is something small, like, okay, $5 every other week, $10, $15, something like that. By you investing on a reoccurring basis, say for instance, if that investment ends up having like a downturn, or a downturn, in a sense, you could buy that investment on a discount at a cheaper price than what it would have normally been for, and then from there gain more shares so that you can be able to have your money grow for a long term. So yep, I already said that already helps to continue to grow the portfolio. Number 5, get familiar with the performance charts. Okay, all publicly traded stocks are required to have performance history. So when I say performance history, that means like on a daily basis, monthly, yearly, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and inception to date. Inception to date is typically if a company has been open more than 15 years or however long they've been open. So if they've been open for like 13 years or whatever, then inception is going to be 13 years or whatever. So you're going to want to review the entire chart. I'll try to put a chart here to kind of just give you guys an idea of what a chart would look like. But you do want to make sure that you get familiar with the chart history, the performance history, before you just start investing in a company. Just because one person tells you, oh, invest in this company right here because of X, Y, and Z, you need to make sure that if it's your portfolio and your overall goals when it comes to growing your money. So even though someone sits here and tells you, oh yeah, go invest in this company, and then you review the chart and you're like, no, this company hasn't been doing well at all for the past X amount of time, you have to make that sound decision on whether or not that investment is good for you. Okay. Yep, that I was just looking over my notes. By getting familiar, you don't have to depend on others telling you where to put your money. Let's flip over the paper. And then my next point is, if you do not know which company to invest in, you can start with companies you already spend your money with. So of course you're gonna be, when you first start off, you're like, I don't know what to sit here and invest in. It's always good to have people around you that are already doing this stuff, you know what I mean, already investing, so that you can have these type of conversations and say, hey, you know, yeah, this is what I'm invested in, this is what I'm invested in, whatever. But at the same time too, it doesn't hurt to sit here and invest in companies that you're already spending your money with. So if you already know you gotta go to the grocery store, okay, like Walmart or Kroger or Target, if you bougie like that type of a thing, then, and you know that you gotta spend money with them anyways, you might as well go ahead and invest in them and get money back from them anyways. You get what I'm saying? Either that, or you already know you got a closet full of Nikes or something like that, or anything. You already know you got to put this type of gas in your car. You know what I mean? Look up that company, see if they're a publicly traded company, see their performance, see how they're doing, what their price per share is, if it's affordable, if you can get in, if you can purchase the share, and if you can, boom, there you have it. You know what I mean? And also just keep in mind too, like when it comes to investing, you're majority of the time you want to make sure that part of your portfolio, if not the majority of your portfolio, is established towards long-term investing. So there is short-term investing, which that's a whole nother conversation, quite a step above my pay grade, so I'm not even going to discuss it as of yet. Stay tuned on that one. But for long-term investing, you also want to make sure that your portfolio does consist of a nice chunk of that, because of the fact you want to make sure that, say for instance, for 5 years down the road, or 10 years, 20, whatever type of plan you have, write down your long-term plan, stick to it, get to it. Okay, make sure you're putting money to the side for it. So that's that long-term investing. Make sure that you're taking care of that. And with you doing your long-term investing, that's going to be able to help you determine what type of investments you want to actually purchase. And if that's something that you can see yourself holding within your portfolio for a long period of time. So perfect example, when Alibaba came out, not Alibaba, Airbnb. Sorry, wrong one. When Airbnb came out, everybody was like, no, don't purchase them on the initial public offering, IPO. And I was like, shoot, bump that. We finna purchase them. I did not purchase them at first at the initial public offering, and quite as kept I can't, because again, I'm a professional. As a professional, you cannot purchase at an initial public offering. But I did go ahead and say, probably about like a week later, I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and purchase, because of the simple fact that I knew that I wanted Airbnb to be something that was going to be a long-term investment for me. I could see long-term what Airbnb is going to do as a company. And I was like, yes, I believe, I have faith that this company is going to go ahead and make that happen. Let's go ahead and do it. And that is what's inside of the long-term portfolio. Just because I purchased Airbnb does not mean that you got to go purchase Airbnb and be like, oh, well, she said that she sees a vision for it and it's gonna blow up. I don't know that. Okay, all I say is I have faith in the fact that it can move towards that direction. But as long as you are keeping that in mind when you are purchasing your long-term investments, you're golden at that point. You know what I mean? But just always know that the market is going to fluctuate and that you can lose and gain money at any given time. Okay. And of course, pay attention to the performance. Always pay attention to the performance. And then lastly, but certainly not least, never keep your eggs in one basket. I repeat, never keep your eggs in one basket. That means do not have all your money sitting in one investment. Do not have all of your money sitting in one investment vehicle or one investment account. Always make sure to have your money dispersed, like diversified. They call it what is called diversifying your portfolio. It's okay to have money sitting in different places so that in the event something happens with one account where or say for instance one investment does bad, another investment can balance out the other. Or in layman terms, if you have multiple bank accounts sitting around, okay, and you have an account that ends up going down to zero because of an emergency that took place. All right, cool. That's just not your only account. That's not where all your money was sitting. You have additional accounts sitting elsewhere. Like, okay, I can start pulling from this one just in case. I can pull from this one. I can pull from this one. Bet type of a thing. That it's the same concept applies to your investments. Never put all of your money in one investment. You do so, you're gonna come up slipping. That's the best way I can say it. So oh, another thing, it doesn't hurt to keep some conservative investments within your lineup as well. So when I say conservative, I mean not as risky as individual stocks. You could use mutual funds, you can use bonds, you can use treasuries, things like that, which is a whole nother conversation I can get in depth to later on. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to keep some type of stability with inside of your investment portfolio. By doing so, that does kind of protect yeah, I guess that's the best way to say it. That does kind of just hedge against, say for instance, if anything else was to happen to all of your other investments. Okay, so I hope that helped. I'm gonna wrap up this video for now. I hope I didn't do too much rambling. I'll come back with some more details, all that great stuff. But until then, I'll holler at y'all later, okay?